oh, you and Todd tried to get us to do a threesome.
Which she's still talking about.
Is she?
In a new interview this week.
What did she say? Let me tell you, this is how her story changes. And I want you guys, if you could pull up this clip. Okay. A few years ago, TMZ blasted her about preaching against gays and lesbians, right? Okay. Now, let's be clear. I would have never said anything about Porsha, ever, about anything about that, had she not obviously shaded the hell out of me, saying that I'm an undercover lesbian, right? Now, let's be clear. I've even said on Housewives before that I've had a girl experience before.
I think Nene talked about it too.
Yes,
I've been a lady.
So there is nothing in the closet about me, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very happily married, but I have had, girl-on-girl experience.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel like it was a problem. Okay, but our friend there, Porsha, who has preached against gays and lesbians in church, on camera, y'all have had it on film. She's kissed me in the club, full out, and said she wanted to do things to me. I'm not even, well, they're gonna show it on the show, but anyway, the point is, this girl changes her story.
Stop everything. Because in this story, the moment Kandi Burruss uncovered the truth, her world didn't just crack, it collapsed. According to whispers from people close to the situation, Kandi allegedly stumbled onto something that looked less like simple drama and more like a private, marriage-style agreement linked to Todd Tucker and Porsha Williams. Not court papers, not public records, just a confidential document so explosive that, if true, it would rewrite everything she believed about her marriage. No verified signatures, no official filings. Just one alleged discovery, and Kandi's entire reality shifted. For years, fans brushed off the tension as reality TV noise, a little shade, a little chaos, nothing serious. But this didn't feel like gossip. This felt strategic, calculated, contractual. And the moment the rumor reached Kandi's phone, witnesses say her entire energy changed. The panic wasn't for the cameras. It was personal. Because if even a sliver of this alleged agreement held truth, then what she walked into wasn't just betrayal. It was business. That's when Kandi finally responded. Not with tears, with fire. She didn't whisper. She didn't dodge. She laid out contradictions, shifting stories, and allegations some people thought would never see daylight. The kind of claims that turn one late-night rumor into a full-blown eruption. And what comes next? That's Kandi breaking her silence, and the details only get darker from here.
When I confronted her on the show about it, for, saying things she said about me, she came back with this story about me and Todd tried to get her to do a threesome. And that's how that came about. But they only show in the clip her saying that. But when you get to see the full show, you see she's saying it in response to me confronting her.
The moment the lead character, Kandi Burruss, stumbled onto what insiders described as a private, marriage-style agreement connected to the two people she trusted most, everything shifted. There was no court stamp, no legal filing, just a whisper of a document so unsettling that those closest to her say she went silent, right before she finally erupted. Because if even a fragment of what she saw was real, this wasn't heartbreak. It was architecture, structured, deliberate, and executed with precision. For years, viewers were told the tension was just reality show chaos, inflated drama, loud personalities, and storylines crafted for ratings. But sources close to the situation insist that what Kandi found wasn't emotional at all. It was strategic. Those familiar with the backstage conversations said the document didn't look romantic or accidental. It looked like a blueprint, an arrangement mapped out piece by piece, crossing a line from rumor into something colder and far more calculated. And when Kandi finally spoke, she didn't cry. She countered. It wasn't denial. It was documentation. She didn't say, that didn't happen. She said, here's where your story shifts. Here's where the timelines don't line up. To anyone who's ever watched a collapse unfold in real time, that moment matters. Because when someone stops defending and starts dissecting, they're no longer wounded, they're tracking the truth. After the exchange aired, the internet ignited. Fans replayed every word, every expression, every pause in her voice. Because something in Kandi's delivery didn't sound reactive. It sounded tired, like this wasn't the first blow. Like this was the moment everything finally clicked. Insiders say the final edit left out more than it showed. What viewers saw was the polished surface of a confrontation far messier underneath. And that leads us to the next moment. The part no one was supposed to freeze frame, rewind, and analyze.
I would never do anything with her until I had brought those text messages out on her, honey, that showed her texting me a couple of days later talking about how great everything, how much fun she had and how she would rape me on camera. And it's like, honey, well, make up your mind.
The accusation didn't arrive quietly. It arrived after the confrontation, and that changes everything because in media, context isn't decoration. Context is control. Anyone who understands reality TV production knows you don't need to invent a lie to change a perception. You only need to adjust the angle, trim the timing, or shift the moment of impact. And if what Kandi claims is true, then what the audience witnessed wasn't the beginning of anything. It was the retaliation. Then came the whispers, the contract talk. No public documents. No stamped pages. No sealed envelopes. But what ignited the internet wasn't paper at all. It was something far more volatile. Messages. Private messages. The kind that don't scream legal agreement, but quietly suggest something colder, an understanding, an implication, a framework that was never meant to see daylight. And when Kandi finally addressed what had been circulating off camera, she didn't deal in rumors, theories, or fragile hypotheticals. She dealt in screenshots. Receipts that didn't raise their voice, but changed the temperature of the entire room. No written contract had surfaced. Not a single page. Not a single signature. But the messages. Those were different. According to the people dissecting them online, they read like confirmation without documents, an agreement that didn't require paper at all. Just phones. Timestamps. And the kind of silence that speaks louder than any denial. And this is where the timelines began to bother people. Because suddenly, viewers started connecting moments they'd shrugged off for years. The late-night coincidences. The sudden closeness. The shifting tone in interviews. The tension whenever all three found themselves in the same room. Tension that producers edited as awkward, but now played back like guilt. Promotions that once looked like harmless PR now looked like choreography. And when the internet did what the internet does best, dig deeper, scroll farther, replay slower, another pattern surfaced. Support. Support that always flowed one way. Support that was offered freely, but never returned. And people began to ask the question no one wanted to say out loud. What kind of understanding existed off camera, the kind that didn't need a contract because everyone involved already knew the rules?
Okay, and then it's like, at the end of the day, it's so funny because, I look at the blogs, obviously. I see people saying, she's jealous of her. What do I have to be jealous of? I've always wanted to see Porsha win in life, period. When she went through the little situation with the fight in the past, I reached out. I said, hey, please don't keep her on the show. Please keep her on the show. Like, I was, when she was doing her music thing, I didn't even write the song. I was posting it before she did, by her music. When I did my play, I put her in it so people could see her acting and singing. We were cool. At the top of the year last year when she taped The Apprentice, I paid thousands of dollars on her challenge day trying to see her win, and we weren't even on the best of terms.
And when a person finally admits that the story shifts depending on who's telling it, the entire situation stops being entertainment. It becomes damage control. Because two versions of the truth, one for television and one for real life, are not coincidences. They're strategy. And that's when people online began asking the question nobody in the situation wanted to confront. If everyone is innocent, why does every explanation require a new explanation? Every few weeks, another version appeared. Another clarification. Another, that's not what I meant. Suddenly, fans weren't looking for documents anymore. They were looking for behavioral evidence, energy shifts, unnatural distance, forced neutrality. People don't announce collapse. They hide it. And then slowly, inevitably, it leaks. Kandi stopped reacting publicly, stopped correcting narratives, stopped engaging with speculation, not out of surrender, but out of recalibration. Because silence, in situations like this, isn't fragile. Silence is strategic. A legal consultant familiar with high-profile celebrity arrangements wrote anonymously on a forum. "This isn't drama. This is an investigation you're all watching happen in real time." And then they added a sentence that froze the entire thread. "When the silence finally breaks, you'll want to be here when it does."